Good morning, everyone. It's Jackie with Paper Cuts, and today is Mixed Media Monday. I got my big, large art journal out and gessoed the entire page. It's still drying just a little bit, so while it dries, if you're not a subscriber, please click down below the subscribe button. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up so that I know what kind of context you would like. So first of all, I just, like I said, gessoed the whole page. I have two Glimmer Mist sprays here. One is I'm not sure what the name. It's a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist called Positive Vibes. It's a blue shimmer. And then I also have a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, and it's Punked Out Steam. Then over to, I have a Coral Acrylic and a Real Blue Acrylic. I put 2 dabs there. And I'm going to be using 2 stencils today. One is just a circle, little polka dots. Well, they're kind of medium polka dots, I guess. And then this handmade one from that I purchased a while ago. And I can't remember who I got it from, but we're going to use that as well. So let's get started. First I'm going to do the blue polka dots, and I'm just using a sponge here, and I'm just going to dab my sponge and then kind of dab it off so that it doesn't oversaturate. And then I'm just going to do some polka dots here and there. And gotta move my hand out of the way here. I always, I'm not very good with stenciling. I have a tendency to put too much paint on and then it seeps underneath. So I'm gonna try to do a little better today. And then I'm just gonna do like blotches all over the page. I don't want the whole thing done. So, and then I'll lift off. So see, I've gotten a little bit here and there. So I have to get better at doing stenciling, so I can't be afraid of it. And I'm just, like I said, dabbing my sponge to put my circles down. Now you can use smaller sponges. I just can't seem to find mine. So I have this bigger sponge, and I'm just kind of squeezing it in half so that I don't get too much everywhere. So it's kind of a fade out kind of look, and we're gonna keep putting some circles down until I get it somewhat the way I want it. And as you can see, I'm just randomly doing a pattern over my page. I'm gonna flip my page around a little bit so that I can get some up here in this corner, and see how we do. I am not real good at mixed media. That's why I'm doing Mixed Media Mondays right now. And for the last 2 weeks, I haven't been doing my Monday video. because I've been painting furniture. And for my bedroom, I'm doing a shabby chic bedroom. And so I was painting furniture and time got away from me and I wasn't paying attention and missed my window. So I'm back and hopefully we will get a few more pages done in the next couple of months. So now I have my circles where I want them, and I'm flipping my page around, and now I'm going to do some of these little flower patterns, and I'm just gonna switch my sponge around to the other side. Actually, I think I'm just gonna cut this sponge into a smaller bit, and then that way I don't have these ginormous sponges. So now I'm going to take my coral and we're going to do the flowers in the coral. Hopefully I can manage a little better. And I'm just dabbing, moving the acrylic paint around in the stencil, trying to get the pattern. Moving my fingers as I go along. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just lightly dabbing to get a little bit of paint on. And I'm just doing 3, I think, for right now, because we're gonna go back over with some spray and see if we can get some more patterns. So I'm just trying to layer it up a little bit. You hear the rustling of the wax paper behind. Got blue on my... This is a messy process, that's for sure. And I guess that's the fun of mixed media, is it's kind of messy, one of those messy things. When you're doing junk journaling, it's not quite as messy. But whenever you take on painting of any kind, it's a messy process. Trying to get these edges here a little bit. So not quite what I had hoped, but we'll keep going. I think I need a little more coral. So I'm going to put a little more on my palette over here. I got the fan going so things will dry a little faster. And don't know if this is the best. sponge or not, but I went on over a little bit into the blue there. Now what I'm going to do is take and use my glimmer mist spray, and I'm going to use the coral one for the polka dots this time, and we're going to see how it comes out. So I just placed it down, and I'm just going to spray it. Probably should turn off the fan for this. Move my stencil out of the way. Get a wet wipe. Wipe my color off a little bit. So it doesn't dry on my stencil. And then I'm going to take, oops, forgot to do the other side. I'll lay this down like this. Take our glimmer mist again. Now as you can see, it's kind of running a little bit. Hold my finger there. That's a little bit better. It's a little pale, but that's okay, because then it gives us a little more depth in our painting. And when it dries, you will see the shimmer to it. There's a couple of places I'm going to dab just because it got a little heavy. And I'm just using a wet wipe for that. And then we're going to put the flower one down, and then I'm going to take the blue glimmer mist, and we're going to spritz a little of that. So there are areas that it didn't take because I was moving it. But wipe our stencil off, and probably should have paper towel for this. And then that way we get the whole texture. My desk just isn't big enough. When you're doing mixed media, you really need a larger space. But this is all about experimenting. So we are definitely experimenting. So there's some different layers there on that. We're gonna just dab it a little bit so that it can dry a little faster. And then I'm gonna go in with my gesso, my white gesso, and put another pattern on it. So this is kind of the base. And I'm thinking that I want a little more of a defined floral in my resist. I guess it's called a backward, no, not a resist. It's like where you pull the background to the front. And so we're gonna try that and see. It might be a little busy, but we're gonna give it a shot. So I want my flower and its leaves kind of off to the side. I think I'm going to do it a little more like that. And then I'm just going to take my sponge and lightly dab it into my gesso. And I'm going to start here at the bottom. And so what it does is it moves everything to the back of the page. And then the white becomes the front, if that makes any sense. I hope I'm explaining it right. But the base that we put down is still, you're able to view it, I guess is the word I want. Because, oops, sorry, I hit the camera. Because it doesn't totally, because your gesso is opaque. There we go. I think I said it right. And I'm just trying to get a good coverage. That's why my hand is in the way, because I don't do so well with these stencils. But you should be able to see the image. It's just lighter. And then, so it becomes kind of like the focal point, I guess, is what I want. Hope you can see what I'm doing because my hand is so far in the way. So we're going to lift it up, and so you can lightly see the floral. Oh, you can't see it on camera. Let me see if I can lift it. But it's real light in the background. So there's lots going on here. I probably should have done a lighter background than I did. I want to take some of this orange out. So I'm just going to lay my stencil down here and take my gesso and do the same thing. Now, if you want it darker, after the first layer dries, you can go back over and put another layer of gesso. Or if you want it less opaque, you can use a white acrylic paint. And I think we probably should have not used the flowers in the background because they seem to be the predominant one. But we played and we tried. So I think what I'm going to do, once the gesso dries, I'm just going to blob this. So it's not quite as defined. And I'm going to redo it because that did not do what I wanted. So that's the beauty, I guess, of there's lots of layers here, so it makes it kind of hard. I think what I'm going to do is take the flower again, and I'm going to put another color. I think I'll use a green, a light shimmer green. Well, not shimmer, sorry, matte. A light matte green. It's called Village Green. And then do the flower in that. Because it didn't come out like I wanted. So that's, you know, if you make a mistake or something doesn't come out the way you planned it, you can always re-gesso the whole thing, start all over again, and then you have a whole different, I think I want it this way. So we're going to start out in this corner. I'm just dabbing it with the Village Green. And because I'm using the acrylic paint, it will pop off the page now. I really thought that the gesso would have been a little darker, but it was not. So, changed my plan a little. And now my rose and its leaves will pop off the page. Trying to move my hands. So like I said, it is a messy process, but it is a process. So now you'll be able to see the flower a little bit better, the leaves. I might go back over the flower portion of it and put a little coral in there. Your fingers are sticking to the stencil, as you can see. Okay, time to see it. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. So now you can see the flower and the leaves a little bit better. And then once the green dries a little bit, I'll be back.